This is a video just covering some basic concepts about face-off setups. In this video, the team that we're focusing on is the team that has the green players labeled left wing, right wing, and center, right D, left D, and of course this is their goalie, this is their defensive zone. Generally speaking, the way I look at it is if you take all of these players, so I'm going to select them all. Okay, if you take all of these players and there is a face-off that has to occur at this dot, basically the setup, this standard setup remains the same. And that would be the same for all of these face-off dots that occur in the neutral zone. There's 5 of them, right? There's center ice, and then there's 4 other face-off dots in the neutral zone. The standard setup for a face-off generally will apply when taking a face-off in the offensive zone. Now, the reality is these players on the other team in their zone, shown by the black sticks, they may line up a little different for their defensive zone, but for the most part, the team in green here is going to be similar to this with maybe some slight adjustments. Sometimes this winger will come up a little higher, or sometimes this winger will stay put and this D will drop down, hoping to get a quick shot off, something like that. But for the most part, these face-offs in all of these areas that I'm going to highlight here, all of these face-off dots are going to be the same face-off setup. So the question is, if we take these skaters and move them to their defensive zone, what happens? Well, now the green team is in their defensive zone. So we're going to do this a little bit differently now. When the face-off is to the right of the goalie, of course the goalie is going to be about here. This winger, this left winger in this position, is going to be here because when the puck drops, that winger needs to be able to guard this D. Okay. Now, the the green team's left D will then take this spot because that left D, when the puck drops, his primary responsibility will be to guard and take care of that player. All right. And with the right winger, this is where it can be a little unique. This right winger ultimately, after the puck drops, will be responsible for this player here. However, in order to do that, we do it in a little unique way. We take this right winger and put him right shoulder to shoulder with his left D, the green left D. And then when the puck drops, that right winger needs to be prepared to get out into this area to take care of that guy at the point there. Now, the last adjustment we do is this right D comes up because that right D has the primary responsibility once the puck drop of taking care of this player. Of course, the center's main job is always to tie up the other center. So these defensive zone face-offs get a little bit more confusing. Now, if we kind of go back to where we were when the puck is to the goalie's right, now we change it. Now the face-off is going to be over here. So let's start by moving all of these players that the players right now are in standard face-off position. We're going to take them and move them over here and make some adjustments. Okay, like I said, this right winger now is going to move out because that right winger's primary job once the face puck is dropped is going to be to go take care of that guy. In the meantime, the right D is going to come up right next to this opposing player because that opposing player right here is this right D's primary responsibility. All right. And then comes the sometimes the more confusing adjustment. This left wing comes down real close to his right D, and once the puck drops, that left wing has to get up in the zone and take care of that player, and that leaves our left D, who comes here and has the primary responsibility of, once the puck is dropped, the left wing ties up that player. And of course, just as with every face-off, the center's main job when the puck drops is to tie up that other center.